Good day folks, welcome to this video in which I want to speak about acrobatic looping and what the hell this means. So acrobatic looping is basically the idea of performing one move or one sequence and doing it over and over and over again, like a perpetuum mobile, kind of like harnessing the momentum, the energy of the move or sequence in order to keep it going basically forever, or until our muscles are sore and we need to stop. So a couple more words on this idea of sustaining momentum, sustaining energy, which is very apparent in acrobatic movements. So whenever I'm doing any move, through this move I build power, I build energy, right? And this energy I could use in order to do something afterwards. Gymnasts, for example, are doing this very well, as you saw maybe in the Olympics. How can we now find a way to go from one thing and directly use it for something else? And this is exactly the question that I will hopefully answer in this video. Concept number one, do we want to continue with the move or sequence in an endless circle, or do we, every time we do it, directly go to the other side? And this is a question that you can ask yourself. It will basically dictate how the sequence move will look and feel like. Here's a couple examples. What you can see here is me doing a low cartwheel in a straight line. Now, compared to that, this is the same thing, but in a more circular action. And this is usually the pathway that I like to choose. Different moves are possible, as you can see here, with this backwards jaguar. The circular way of looping is a great task for beginner students. I really like this idea of continuing, but sometimes I get overly dizzy. So therefore I can also make the choice of not continuing, but by stopping and redirecting the move elsewhere. Redirection can happen in a variety of ways. The simplest way is by simply using a standing spiral. So both feet on the ground, swing your arms by giving a push in one leg and then the other leg. Now this is something that you can use in acrobatics wonderfully in order to go from one side to the other. Here's how, using the small cartwheel. The beautiful thing with the standing spiral is that I can conserve the energy and still use it. I don't need to start from zero. Here you can see the standing spiral in action. It really is great to use the momentum, pause for a second, and then redirect. The great thing is it's applicable to so many moves and gives you a lot of control. Second concept. Do we want to immediately go for another round of the move, or do we want to briefly stop and have a moment of inhalation before we then go on? Direct or indirect loopings? The direct loops I already introduced in the concept number one. So how could now an indirect loop look like? I go, I wait a little bit. My body is still continuing to move, but not in a direct way. Now in this one, I am surely breaking the momentum a little bit, but still some form of movement is still traveling through my body, and therefore the sense of continuous motion is still kept alive. I can of course do it also by going back and forth. Again, one of the great benefits by doing this indirect looping is that you have a lot of time in between to rest. Again, great for beginners. In the standing layer, there's endless possibilities what to do. Adding arches, circling with your arms, so on and so forth. This is really something that you can practice. And what I especially like in this one is really this notion of an exhalation, a pause in between. And the third concept, deciding whether you want to do just one move that you want to loop or a full sequence. So sometimes I like to practice really one move in isolation and go back and forth, like this cartwheel that we practiced. But sometimes it's also super fun to build a whole sequence and then loop the whole thing. So once again, it's a choice that you can make. Let's try to quickly build a sequence that is rather easy. It's a cartwheel. I continue, stepping through around. Now we have the choices. Do we want to directly go? Do we want to give it a breather? Do we want to continue? Or do we want to reverse it? But these are things that you can practice for yourself. Enjoy. So here are just a couple of examples of some sequences that you can loop. This one is quite basic. The next one that Katha is showing here is quite interesting. It's this monkey step into what I call a backwards J-gear. Then she uses a spiral to redirect. So this one has a lot of flow. Quite interesting. And lastly, I'm showing a bit of a longer sequence. One move, second move, and even a third move. And then again using the standing spiral to redirect. Watch the section a couple more times, try to get it, and copy it. Enjoy! If this video sparked your interest to dive literally deeper into the floor, then check out my Finding Flow online programs. All of the programs are comprised of high-quality video breakdowns of all moves and techniques. If you're already familiar with basic acrobatics, the Acrobatics Lab online program is the perfect choice for you. But I also have something for beginners. Finding Flow the Basics and Finding Flow integrations offer you a great way into this beautiful practice. Use the code YouTube10 for a 10% discount. Alrighty, and this is it for this video. Once again, the implications of the concept of looping are endless, and I hope that through this video you found many tools so you can play with this concept further. Now, if you would like to see more videos like this, let me know in the comment section. Also, if you have any question for this video, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos. And that's it for now. Ciao, ciao.